Hello, testing 1, 2, 3. Hello, testing 1, 2, 3. Testing, all right. Hello, Morningstar. What's up? How's it going? Vendetta said, just curious, why you integrate GASP with ALS? It's not enough just one of them. It's because in ALS, sorry, in ALS you have the complex layering system, which is good to have on the GASP, because the GASP system is a locomotion motion matching system that, you know, we have all the locomotion of the character going around, like pivoting, strafing. You have all that good stuff of locomotion. And then on the ALS, you also have the locomotion, but you also have the upper body systems, the upper body logic that you can use to play the animations. So if you used and take from that from ALS and put it into GASP, you have a system like this, where you're able to get any weapon you want and apply that upper body pose, as you can see right here. Because in the GASP system, we don't have that. We don't have the upper body logic at all. Yeah, I finished the debug system where you can press 1 to debug the player input. So as you can see, it's showing up here. So debug player input, you can press 1 to see that. So as you can see, it's pressing aim, false, block is blocking the character movement, false or true. And you can also press 2 to debug the character movement. So you can see the rotation rate, the current overlay state. And then 3 to debug the character weapon state. So in case if you have already a weapon, it's going to show up here which weapon you have, which weapon was the last weapon, you picked up. So as you can see, if I pick up the ball, all right. So as you can see, picked up weapon, bow, and the state of it, if it's equipped or not. Yo, is this GTA 6? Almost. It's like GTA 6 with The Last of Us, because you can pick up the weapons like in GTA 6 and GTA 5. But in The Last of Us, it's not. You cannot be able to pick up the weapons like this. I mean, you can, but you know, we have to run the story mode. If I did the debug, yes, yeah, I did the debug part, I think yesterday or the day before. I don't remember. So I'm not sure what. So I'm, so I'm not sure what I'm going to work on today because there's a lot of things to be done. Especially the reload part where you can, you're able to shoot with the, let me just debug the weapon part. So you can see, well, okay. So you can see that the current ammo quantity is 3, as you can see right there. So if you keep shooting, and then reload, and then shoot again, and then reload, shoot again, and then reload. Oh, I think I fixed it. Because the current pocket ammo quantity used to get a value of negative value, so which doesn't make sense. So I was trying to get that bug to be happening. Let me see if I can get that bug to happen. Yeah, as you can see right here, the current pocket ammo quantity is -4. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, there's no recoil right now because I'm not working with the animations right now. I'm just working on the backend logic. Like, managing the quantity of the ammo. In the backend, I have a lot of bugs to solve. In Red Dead Redemption 2, you could manually pick it up. Are you talking about the weapons? Yeah, I've never played Red Dead Redemption 2, but it seems good. Can you hip fire? What does that mean? Hip fire. Fire without aiming? No. You have to aim first. But if you want to do that, of course you can just change the code. Yeah. Let me see how it is. Have a good day, Loco. Thanks. Thank you very much. Like when you are swamped, you can just fire randomly until you take cover. As you can see, when you aim down, the head gets stretched too much. I think the neck gets down too much. That happens when you're aiming up with the... That happens when you're aiming up with the rifle. Hello, what's up, Vertex? Oh, Vertex Dev. So when you're aiming with a pistol, that doesn't happen. And that's all because of the, as you can see, you have the shoulder. Let me just print this. You have the shoulder. I think this is a problem of the mesh itself. This problem here, I think it's because of the rig, right? I'm not sure. Let me just put this up on the funny bugs. But this is not a bug of the locomotion, I think. But if you try to twist the mesh in here, so if you get the clavicle R, and then try to move up, let's say this, or like this. I'm not sure. As you can see, the mesh, it distorts itself. Herm said, do you think solo developers should use Unreal when developing long-term games, retro, etc.? Because as far as I know, Unreal is good at Blueprint, but terrible at optimization. Yeah, I have that posted on the updates. As you can see, if you go to the Discord and go to the updates, I've talked about the optimizations and performance. So as you can see, I've used ChatGPT because everybody uses it and it's better to get all the information you need. So you have the comparison. You can choose the option to go hybrid. I don't know. Is this pronounced as hybrid or hybrid? Hybrid. I'm not sure. So you can go with that option, or Blueprint only, or you can only use C++, or you can combine both. So you can use C++ or C++ for Blueprints and C++ for getting an average of both. But yeah, I think solo developers should use Unreal for developing anything. I'm not sure about retro. Retro, you mean 2D games? I think Unreal Engine is not really for 2D games. Let me just see what retro games are. Retro. Those mini games, those 2D games, right? Yeah, I think Unreal. I'm not sure because I think those 2D kind of games are well made with C++ and with Unity, because Unity, I think it's made for making those kind of games, 2D games. So here you have the comparison between blueprints, using blueprints and C++. So you can take a look. It's very good. Yeah, blueprints is always going to be less optimized than C++. But if you use C++, then you're going to have better optimization. But for beginners, you can use blueprints because it's going to take a while for you to add things that will compromise the performance. So for beginners, you can use blueprints, and then later you can learn C++ to better optimize your game. But at the beginning, you shouldn't worry about using C++. Or if you want to start using C++ right away, then it's going to be good. But C++ is harder to learn and harder to prototype, especially when you're starting out on the engine. You want to make things as fast as possible and not get bored quickly. And blueprints is the ideal way to start because you can prototype very fast. And then if the code works, then you can convert that to C++ later if you want. If you have performance issues, of course. But C++ is always going to be faster. And although it's not something that should be worried about right now. For example, my code, I have a lot of codes in here. It's not 100% optimized yet with blueprints, but I know like which logic I should be running on C++, and then I can convert that logic and use the hybrid option to better optimize the game, optimize the project a lot more. Which game engine would you choose to start with? I would start with Unreal Engine for sure. Yeah, I would start with Unreal Engine for sure, and I would start learning blueprints together with C++. So I'll dedicate my time learning 50% of my time learning, 70% of my time learning blueprints, and the rest C++. And then after 3 or 5 months, I would start learning C++, dedicating like 50% of my time learning C++ and the other half blueprints, because you can use both blueprints you can use blueprints a lot faster, you can prototype a lot faster, so that's very good. And then after you're very advanced with blueprints, you can dedicate your time to like 70% learning C++, learning how you can optimize things better, and the rest of the time you can learn blueprints. Or if you're already familiar with blueprints, then you can just jump into C++ 100%. Yeah, but it depends a lot on the type of project you're running and what you're trying to really achieve. All right, let me see what I'm going to do in here. I don't know. So I have a list of things to do in here. We could either fix the spine rotation when going to certain angles. I'm not going to add the shooting animations right now because we have some sort of annoying issue, which, as you can see, I'm not really sure if this is an annoying issue, but sometimes the character glitches a little bit. I'm not sure if it's for someone who's just, if players are going to notice this at all, if this is a issue that could be considered an issue for players. But as you can see, the character snaps a little bit. I guess I should debug some other values. Yeah, for sure, you can tag me on Discord. What's up, 001? A link? Link to what? To the Discord? It's right into the description. You have the link for the Discord server. Guys, what do you guys think about this mug here? Is it good? Does it look good? Unreal Engine. Right in the neck. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to debug this value here, enable spine rotation, and I'm gonna have to debug some other values related to locomotion. So, Epic Games love that cup. I think they actually allow it to use for if you search up for logo, Unreal Engine logo, you have the I think they allow people to use the logo for branded content, for branded merch. So because this is not a company name, this is the application to develop games. So, but they allow it, even though that it's not a company name, they declare that they allow it to use to pay into merch items if you want. Yeah, I think I'm not going to do the debug for the layering right now. I think I'm going to do it off live, and then I can just show you what I've done, because it's a lot of work and it's something that's very simple to make. So I'm not going to do that on the live. Why do you use the append node instead of the format tags? Is there any difference? No. You can use both. It's just by preference. I've used the format tags for a while. It also works great. You also have to have the formatting options. I think it's something like this. You can, let's say, health. You can plug the health value in there. So let's say player's health. It's a lot easier too. So you can plug that into there. I haven't used format text for a while, so I don't know. But you can use it. It's very much good. I use the append because it's much easier to just add a pinning here and just type the text below. For a retrographic style game, I think you could go with Unity because because Unity, I think it's made for that kind of game. But if you want to use Blueprint to start, maybe you can search it up for some tutorials, but I think you're not going to find that many. Now, regarding optimization, you can use C++, and that's it. And if you want to make a game in Unreal Engine, and if you're worried about the optimization, you can use C++. All right. Let me just unplug some values here, like this. As you can see, I want to have a smooth rotation of the spine like this. So as you can see, I just had one little bug in there. But as you can see, this is the kind of smoothness I want to reach, while also having a precise aiming. So it's just a matter of choosing the right angle of where the character is going to have that smooth and precise aiming. So when the character pivots, I want to disable the precise aiming so that's not going to cause the snapping effect on the spine, that the character just turns and it snaps. So that's the type of challenge that we're dealing with. For now, I'm going to disable everything, all types of yeah, it gets very bad when it looks. Let's just get this to be here. As you can see, the character is kind of snapping a little bit when you start moving to the left and to the left. That's because of I've disabled that fix, which is this one. So if you enable that fix back again, you don't have that issue, but it causes other bugs, such as spine twisting issues. As you can see, snaps to certain angles. As you can see right here, when you quickly move the camera to the pivot, the character snaps. Yeah, it's difficult. But I think it's all because of this alpha value in here. If you could try to make it so that let me just debug this. If you could just know how to apply that, reduce the alpha value of this, we could make the to solve that problem. But for now, we're not gonna make this work in progress. So work in progress. All right. This is going to be very interesting to make. The update the gameplay camera. What that's gonna do is, because right now we're just following, making the camera to follow the spine of the character. Let me just see which specific spine that is. So if you go to the sandbox character, retargeted characters, go to the one that I've used, custom skeletal mesh, custom character. So if you go to the sandbox character, which is the parent of all the retargeted characters, you're going to be able to see that it's following the spine of the character. So this is the spine one, and this is the kind of result that you want to get, that you get by following the spine. So the camera has motion. So when the character just crouches, for example, the camera moves, follows the motion of the spine of the character. So it goes. Yeah, I have that issue. Let me just. When you crouch, it slowly goes up because I'm playing the idle animation. Let me just fix that real quick. Get character input state. No, it's crouched. I forgot. Here, just only if the character is standing, we're going to play the idle animation. So if we're crouched, we're not going to play the idle animation. That's causing the character to just stand up, because we're using a stand up idle break animation. And right now we don't have a idle break animation for when the character is crouching, but we can do some layering to fix that. So this is the kind of result that you get by following the spine 1. Now let's follow the spine 5. Let's see what kind of result we get. Spine 5, there you go. The camera is a little bit weird. Let me just go back to here. Sometimes the location goes too much high. Let's set it back to 0. Whoops, not the location of the character though. The location of the camera. So as you can see, the location goes crazy. I'm not sure why. The location of the camera. So I'm just going to reset it. Press on play. So this is the kind of result that you get. Depending on the running or walking animation, you have less motion when the camera is following the spine 5 comparing to the spine 1. Or vice versa, I'm not sure. But I have to keep playing, testing to see which one works the best. Yeah, I think the spine 5 gives more motion because it's getting the motion close to the arms. So when the character bends, the camera also receives that motion and then tries to catch up with the spine motion of the character. So what I'm trying to do is, as this could as we have better precision by the camera following the character, let me just change this real quick. Location is 90. As we have better precision when we're aiming while the camera is following the capsule of the character, not the spine or any other bone location of the character, we can snap I think when the camera follows the capsule of the character itself, we have better precision when aiming as well. But as you can see, the character gets too much... I'm not sure if this is the word, but jelly, too much smooth. It's too much soft. The movement, the animations of the character is too much. Especially when you change directions, you can the pivots while strafing. So maybe it's not the ideal. Is this a CC4 character? What is a CC4 character? Character creator? No. Well, I'm not sure because I've downloaded it from the marketplace. But it looks cool overall. I think it looks very nice. So I think what happens on the Fortnite, for example, in the game, when you sprint, the camera follows the spine of the character, and that gives that certain motion. I'm not sure if it follows because I haven't been playing Fortnite for a while. So, but I think it's going to give the players. Let me think before I speak. I think it's going to give more of that heavy motion when you're sprinting, because when you're sprinting with the camera only focusing on the caps of the character, as you can see, it doesn't give that much of motion of the camera. So if you click on the parent socket and follow the spine, spine 5 for example, I'm not sure which one it is. Yeah, it could be any. Also fix that in here. Too much. Nope. Location, it's the red one. And then when you're sprinting with the spine 5 attached, as you can see, yeah, this is just for shooting, but I think the spine 1 is going to work better when you're sprinting. Spine 1, and then go back to the UFO mannequin, and then press and play. Yeah, it's a little bit off. I'm not sure what it is. I think it gives a little bit of that motion when you're running. So I think it's going to be good to snap that in real time to switch from following the spine only when the character is sprinting, and follow the caps of the character only when we need to have precise control of the character, such as aiming with a weapon or throwing a grenade, something like that. Doing any other action that needs precise aiming and precise control of the mechanics itself. Yeah, I can shoot while traversing. So that's another bug that we have so far. Let me see if you can also reload while traversing. Just cannot. Yeah, you can also reload when you're traversing. So we're going to fix that bug right now. While we are traversing, there is a traverse option in here, doing traversal action. If it's true or false, it's going to be set to be true or false. So I'm going to add that option to all the input actions, such as, you know, weapon shooting, weapon holster. So if the character is not doing traversal action, wait. So if it's not doing, the character is not going to be able to pick up any weapon. Holster. Let's see, where's the reload? Weapon reload. Oh yeah, we don't have basically anything. So we're going to do that right now. It's holstering, or is picking up a weapon. So I'm just going to place everything, all the information in here. So here. And you can also spam the reload option, which it cannot happen. Just see weapons. And we also don't have the playing reload animation. Oh, yeah, we have. So I have the information if the character is playing the reload animation or not. So we can just fix that spammy issue just by selecting if the character is playing the reload animation, then don't execute anything. So if it's not playing yet, then check for other state, for other conditions to see if we are in the condition of reloading, if we're able to reload. So we're going to check for those conditions. Press R. Okay, so if I try to spam again, as you can see, I cannot I cannot reload if the character is already reloading. Let me just change that camera. It's terrible for running. So spine 5, we cannot. Spine 1. Compile. Go back here. There we go. This camera is the best for sprinting. The setup. We're focusing on the spine 1. It's much better for sprinting. As you can see now, the problem is fixed. You cannot reload while you're doing any traversal action. But you can also shoot. So I'm gonna have to fix the shoot as well. But as you can see, when I I cannot reload while doing any traversal action or while not being picking up a weapon. Let's say, for example, when I pick up the pistol and then try to pick up the rifle and then try to reload right away. It's not gonna work. So just gotta keep those code in mind. It's not. I'll be right back. I'm gonna try to prototype a simple HUD system for displaying the weapon type and the ammo, the current ammo available, the character, and the current and the max capacity that the weapon can hold. Let me just get a example here. So let me just see.
Hello everyone, let's create this radius here. Oh, reload this and do the job. Here what
Trying to find a PNG for the pistol. Oh, that's so expensive. All right, so here's the pistol that is going to be on the HUD. As you can see, it's going to be really good. All right, HUD, blueprint class, HUD. So this is for the pistol. I don't know, pistol or a weapon. HUD weapon. Yeah, I forgot how to make a HUD system interface. Interface? No. I'm gonna have to follow the tutorial there.
To do this. And this episode, few textures for the pistol and for the rifle. So I'll import these two. Here, I imported them in white. So, well, first, I need a
So this is a widget. Widget blueprint.
a new widget blueprint. I'll call it WD.
But there's a lot of options in here. So there is user widget. And there is game animation widget. I'm gonna go with the user widget here. Widget weapon HUD. There we go. Open it up.
Have right. So size 2 our rifle T by 100.
So first, he has the canvas panel. I'm going to add the canvas panel as well. Canvas panel. There we go. Now the texture. So compile, drag it off, drag the texture in here. There we go. Now the size is totally wrong. I think it could be 100 for 100.
Left, and as the position X I'll give 50, position Y I'll give 50. So I'll set the alignment Y to 1 to 200, not 250. So I'll set the to the bottom left, and I'll anchor it to the bottom left. And as the position X I'll give 50, position Y I'll give 50. So I'll set the alignment Y to 1 and X as 0. So in that case, position Y should be minus 50. Okay, I'll call it, I think that's 10. So 0.3, 0.3, 0.3. And really round.
Let's test it out. I'm gonna have to call that inside. I'm gonna have to call this custom event. Add widget. Add HUD widget event. Compile. And then call this event inside this UE4 character blueprint, and then play. Let's see. Okay, now the HUD is in there. As you can see, it's up here in the left corner. Later we're going to be gonna write this down to add things to do, reduce mouse, weapon UI, yeah, the UI, show ammo quantity, weapon model. Yeah, I'm gonna go right now, so that's going to be it for this tutorial. So for the next one, we're going to be continuing to add the weapon. And I'm going to choose a better model. I just picked up this model just for see if it's going to work, and then I'm going to choose other better models to make it look better. So that's going to be it for this live stream.